Every single person on this planet is given the same 24 hours in a day. That's a truth no amount of privilege, money, fame, or opportunity can change. The question isn't whether we have enough time. The question is, are we awake enough to realize what we're doing with it? Time is the one resource we keep spending, whether we're conscious of it or not. It slips through our fingers when we're distracted, and it works magic when we're intentional. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like life is passing you by, it's probably not because you're lacking hours in a day. It's because you're lacking clarity about what truly deserves your hours. We waste so much of our precious life energy worrying about opinions, comparing ourselves, getting stuck in trivial distractions, and chasing things that don't even fulfill us. The truth is, when you wake up in the morning, you're writing a story with how you live each hour. Are you proud of the story you're writing, or are you just letting it happen to you by accident? Success doesn't come from luck. It comes from living with intention. It comes from protecting your time like it's the most valuable asset you own, because it is. The people who achieve great things don't have secret hacks. They simply respect their time more than they respect their excuses. They make decisions in alignment with their bigger vision. They don't waste time negotiating with their own doubts or letting fear paralyze them. They use their hours to build, to learn, to practice, to fail and try again, because they understand time isn't something you chase, it's something you honor. You don't need more time, you need more focus, more discipline, more honesty about what is stealing your energy. Most of all, you need to stop waiting for the perfect moment and realize that moment is already here. Life is already happening. The clock is already ticking. How you manage your 24 hours is how you manage your life. The person you will become 5 years from now is hidden inside how you use today. So take ownership, be deliberate, and never forget time doesn't owe you anything, but you owe it to yourself to make every hour count. When you truly understand that everyone in this world is given the same 24 hours, something inside you shifts. There's no one walking this earth who has been granted extra time. Not the most successful entrepreneur, not the most celebrated artist, not the world's greatest athlete. The difference is never the hours they've been given. It's always what they choose to do within those hours. It's easy to look at people who inspire us and think they have some advantage. We don't, but time doesn't discriminate. What makes people extraordinary is how they respect time, how they prioritize their energy, and how they refuse to waste a single hour on things that don't serve their growth, while others are scrolling, doubting, second guessing, or procrastinating. Successful people are moving forward, onward, with purpose. They understand that their time is their life. How they spend it is how they shape their destiny. You can't buy more time, you can't borrow it, you can't stretch it, but you can absolutely command it with your choices, and that's where your real power begins. It's not about how fast you move, it's about how focused you are on where you're going. Every single person you admire has had to ask themselves the hard question: what is truly worth my time today? They've had to make sacrifices, to say no to distractions, to choose discipline over comfort over and over again. So when you feel like you don't have enough time, remind yourself it's not about more hours, it's about more ownership. Take responsibility for how you live each minute, and you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish with the exact same 24 hours everyone else has. One of the greatest reasons people feel like they're running out of time is because they haven't taken the time to get clear on what truly matters. Clarity is the foundation of managing your 24 hours with purpose. Without clarity, you become a victim of distraction. You say yes to things that drain you. You waste your energy on people who don't value it. You chase goals that aren't even yours. You start living a life based on expectations, not your own truth. When you don't know where you're going, anything can pull you off course. That's how time disappears. Not in one big moment, but in 1,000 small decisions where you weren't paying attention. Your focus is precious. Your energy is sacred. You cannot afford to give it to things that don't align with your growth, your values, and your deepest purpose. Clarity gives you power. When you know exactly what you want, distractions become obvious. You no longer need to fight for motivation because your vision itself becomes your fuel. You understand that not everything deserves your time and not everyone deserves your presence. You become more selective, more intentional, more protective of your peace. That's not selfish, it's necessary. People who achieve extraordinary things aren't working harder than everyone else. They're just working smarter. They've cleared away the noise. They've drawn lines between what feeds their growth and what drains their spirit. That's how they protect their 24 hours. That's how they make time serve them, not the other way around. When you have clarity, you no longer live life on autopilot. You live it awake, fully aware of how every choice shapes your future. Every single day you wake up, you are writing a story with how you choose to live your hours. Most people don't realize it because they're too busy just trying to get through the day. They're moving without thinking, existing without intention. But the truth is, your actions, your decisions, your habits, they are writing the script of your life in real time. The way you spend today will be the memory you hold tomorrow. So ask yourself, are you writing a story that you'll be proud of, or are you allowing the hours to pass, slipping through your fingers unnoticed? Life doesn't just happen in the big moments, it's created in the small, repeated choices you make every single day, the conversations you have, the energy you give, the opportunities you take seriously, the people you surround yourself with. These are not small things, these are the bricks that build your future. If you want to manage your 24 hours, you need to manage your story. You need to ask yourself, what narrative am I creating with how I spend my time? Am I living as the main character in my life, or am I standing on the sidelines watching it unfold without direction? The people who achieve greatness understand this truth. They don't waste time waiting for inspiration to strike. They create their own momentum. They understand that discipline isn't about punishment, it's about respect. Respect for the life they're building, respect for the time they'll never get back. So they write each day carefully, thoughtfully, with purpose. They understand the story they're writing today becomes the reality they live tomorrow. Time is not something you can save for later. It's not something you can lock away and come back to when you feel ready. Every minute is either used wisely or lost forever. That's why protecting your time isn't just important, it's essential. When you begin to see your time as the most valuable currency you possess, you stop giving it away so easily. You become intentional with who you share it with, where you place your focus, and what activities deserve your energy. There will always be people who try to pull you in different directions. There will always be endless demands, distractions, and noise. But if you don't draw boundaries around your time, the world will gladly waste it for you. Protecting your time is a form of self respect. It's a declaration to yourself and to others that your life matters, your goals matter, and your peace matters. You don't owe anyone access to your energy simply because they ask for it. You owe yourself the discipline to say no when something doesn't align with your purpose. Those who achieve great things aren't necessarily more talented or more fortunate. They're simply more protective of their hours. They treat their time like gold. They understand that every moment spent on something meaningless is a moment stolen from their potential. They guard their focus like their future depends on it, because it does. When you learn to protect your time, you reclaim your power. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. And that's how you transform 24 ordinary hours into a life you're proud to live. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's not something that magically appears in the hands of the lucky. It's created, shaped, and built by those who understand how to prioritize their time. Every achievement you admire, every person who seems to have reached the heights you aspire to, it's not because they stumbled upon success. It's because at some point they made a decision to stop wasting time on things that don't matter and to start investing their hours into what does. It's easy to believe that success belongs to people with special gifts or extraordinary opportunities, but the real difference lies in choices. Those who succeed understand the power of alignment. They don't chase every opportunity or say yes to everything that comes their way. They know that their time is finite, so they place it where it counts. They work on what matters. Even when it's hard, they sacrifice comfort for growth. They build habits that support their vision, not habits that waste their potential. When you manage your 24 hours with intention, you start to realize that your future is shaped by your priorities today. Success isn't reserved for the chosen few, it belongs to those who choose well, who prioritize progress over perfection, who value consistency over chaos. Your time is your greatest investment. Spend it on what builds you, challenges you, and brings you closer to who you want to become. That's how success is created, not through luck, but through the discipline of honoring your time with purpose. Excuses are the easiest thing in the world to make. They're comforting, they give us a temporary way out, and they protect us from the discomfort of growth. But no one ever built a meaningful life by honoring their excuses. The people who rise, who evolve, who truly make something extraordinary out of their 24 hours, they don't negotiate with their own weakness. They choose discipline over doubt, action over hesitation, and focus over fear. Discipline isn't just about waking up early or ticking off tasks on a to do list. It's about keeping your word to yourself. It's about respecting the promises you make to your future, even when no one is watching. It's about showing up for your dreams on the days when motivation disappears. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is a choice you make again and again. It's what separates those who wish from those who achieve. When you manage your time with discipline, you stop waiting for the right moment. You stop blaming circumstances, people, or even yourself. You simply start, you move forward, despite the doubts, despite the fear, despite how difficult the path seems. Because deep down, you understand that managing your 24 hours isn't about what you feel like doing, it's about what needs to be done for the life you want to live. You can either build your dreams or build excuses for why you didn't, but you can't build both. The choice will always be yours, and the clock keeps ticking either way. There's a difference between being busy and being productive, and understanding this is crucial if you want to master your 24 hours. So many people fill their days with endless tasks, rushing from one thing to the next, confusing movement with progress. But just because your calendar is full doesn't mean your life is moving forward. Real growth, real achievement comes from focus, not from chaos. When you focus, you channel your energy into what actually matters. You stop spreading yourself thin across meaningless distractions. You learn to recognize the difference between what is urgent and what is important. You understand that not every email needs your immediate response, not every problem deserves your attention, and not every opportunity aligns with your purpose. Focus gives you clarity, and clarity gives you direction. Managing your 24 hours isn't about doing more, it's about doing less with more purpose. It's about cutting through the noise, eliminating what wastes your time, and committing fully to what moves you closer to the life you want. People who achieve great things aren't necessarily busier than anyone else. They're simply more intentional with where they place their energy. They prioritize depth over quantity. They build momentum by focusing on what truly counts. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to do everything. You just need to focus on doing the right things. Well, when you do, you'll find that time begins to work for you, not against you. Your days become more meaningful, your actions more impactful, and your results more aligned with the future you desire. Time rewards those who are prepared. It honors the people who show up consistently, who put in the work even when no one is watching, who refuse to let a single day pass without moving closer to their goals. Success doesn't knock on the door of those who wait idly for inspiration. It finds the ones who have been working quietly, patiently, with unwavering commitment. The people who manage their 24 hours wisely understand this deeply. They don't rely on luck or miracles. They rely on their preparation. Preparation is a mindset. It's about laying down the bricks today for the road you want to walk tomorrow. It's about understanding that big moments, big opportunities, and big breakthroughs don't just appear out of nowhere. They arrive when you're ready. And readiness isn't born in the spotlight, it's born in the discipline of your daily life. It's built in the small, often unseen efforts, the hours spent learning, practicing, failing, and getting back up. When you're prepared, you move through life differently. You carry yourself with quiet confidence because you know you've done the work. You don't panic when opportunities arise. You rise to meet them because you've been preparing for them all along. Preparation turns ordinary days into extraordinary foundations. It transforms time from something you fear losing into something you're actively shaping. Your 24 hours are a chance to prepare for the person you want to become. Waste them, and you'll always wonder why success feels out of reach. Respect them, and you'll find that time begins to open doors you once thought were closed. Your future isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's being shaped right now, in this very moment, by how you choose to spend your time. The person you will become isn't a mystery, it's simply the result of how you manage your 24 hours today. Every decision you make, every habit you build, every priority you set, it's all silently constructing the life you'll live tomorrow. Time isn't something that happens to you, it's something you create with the choices you make, moment by moment. It's easy to dream about the future, to imagine the person you want to become, but dreams without action are empty. What you do today, how you invest your energy, how you protect your focus, these are the things that turn visions into reality. You cannot escape the truth that the life you live is built in the present, not the future. Every hour is either bringing you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. That's why managing your time is about so much more than productivity. It's about shaping your destiny. The people who achieve greatness don't wait for a perfect tomorrow. They show up fully for today. They understand that consistency compounds, and even the smallest step forward is progress. They treat each day like it matters because it does. One day doesn't change everything, but many days stacked together with intention and discipline change everything. That's how futures are built. That's how lives are transformed, not in a single moment of brilliance, but through 1,000 ordinary hours spent with extraordinary purpose. At the end of the day, it's never about how much time you had, it's about how deeply you respected the time you were given. Life isn't measured by the number of hours you live, but by what you fill those hours with. Every single one of us is handed the same blank canvas each day, 24 fresh hours to create, to grow, to build, to love, to make a difference. What separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stuck is how they choose to paint that canvas. There's no secret formula, no shortcut, no magic trick. It's about awareness, awareness of what drains you, awareness of what feeds you, awareness of what aligns with your purpose and what steals your energy. When you begin to see your hours not as something endless, but as something precious and limited, your entire perspective changes. You stop letting life happen to you and you start shaping your life with intention. Managing your 24 hours isn't about cramming more into your day. It's about choosing better, choosing what truly matters, choosing the people, the tasks, the goals, and the moments that move you forward. It's about having the courage to say no to what distracts you and the strength to say yes to what challenges you. It's about showing up for yourself every day, not just when it feels easy. Remember, the future isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's being written right now in how you treat today. Success doesn't come from grand gestures. It comes from the quiet discipline of honoring your time, from the daily decisions to protect your energy, from the small actions repeated with faith and commitment. Your 24 hours are shaping your destiny, whether you realize it or not. So take ownership, be intentional, live awake, because time is the one thing you'll never get back, and the way you use it will ultimately become the story of your life.